The game you love above them all. Football news, predictions, we have it all. You can watch or listen, that's your call. Just join us on Beyond the Ball.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Beyond the Ball. You are looking at a very sad Chelsea and Manchester United fan.
Yeah, I can't stop laughing because this is about the fourth take to try and get this there. So I'm trying to be sad, I really am, but
yeah, we fucked it up so much. We're just laughing now because it's
I am really sad about United as well.
Really sad, but the scenario we're in right now is really funny. So, welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Ball. I'm obviously joined by Big Paddy this week.
Hello.
Paddy,
Hello.
We're in the same boat. After this, we're gonna have to probably sit together, have a chat, make sure we're both okay.
Yeah, I'll still say we're 15th. We're not in the same boat. Were you 5th?
Yeah, no, we're 6th.
6th, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're on the way.
We're on the way down. We're on the Titanic. We're just about to hit the iceberg. Yous are like at the bottom. Yous have already sunk. We're after. We're like captain's looking at the iceberg. He's on the way to it.
We are the iceberg.
Right, Paddy, we're looking at we're going to be reviewing the two games, unfortunately. Right. We're going to be doing some football opinions, unpopular football opinions. We've had a lot sent in this week, so there's some really good topics to talk about.
Right.
So thank you everybody for sending them in. We really appreciate it. Actually, before we get into it, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that has subscribed as well. By the way, I put out a little post on the Instagram story. I think we were at 408 subscribers before I put it out, and I think we're up to 417 now. So people are getting their finger out when we push them. So right now, I'm telling you to do it. Get your finger out. Your fingers are already out. You're probably not wearing gloves.
And if they're not, just get them out.
Yeah, get them out. Yeah. And also, get your penis out.
Well, maybe give them a wash first before you hit the keyboard. If anybody else in the family has to touch it.
Yeah, so look, we do appreciate it, but make sure you hit subscribe because, like I said, it helps us grow. We're trying to get the 500 followers because we have everything else. Apparently, we can get monetized. I don't even know what that means. If it means that there's ads on it, I won't do it. But I don't know. We'll see what that is.
I don't know. Maybe they like in China they might get us to do like advertise some Chinese like
Malaysia
toothpaste or something.
Malaysia. Had a got chicken box. Right, so we have unpopular opinions. We have unpopular opinions as well. So there's some really good ones that were sent in. A lot of them about United. I'm not gonna lie. But well justified. And we're going to be looking at our fantasy football. I think we can officially confirm the January winner.
It could be me.
Could be anybody. I don't know. We think we know who it is, but we could be shocked. We haven't checked it, so it's going to be a shock to us. Well, it's not going to be a shock, but it's going to be a surprise.
I'll be shocked if it's not me because I've already spent that money.
So yeah, that person, whoever it is, that's top of the league, will be getting €20 sent to them via Revolut or whatever method they paid. So yeah, best of luck to that to everybody.
Yeah, best of luck, everybody. Well done.
But
the last time we were on between then and now, we had Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
How did you spend yours?
Yeah, heartbroken.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a terrible.
The match was on the Friday night, wasn't it?
It was on the Friday night, and I was out. So rookie mistake. First thing I'll say is rookie mistake by me. Chelsea kicked off at 8:00 earlier on in that day, last minute. And actually, here's another thing I didn't tell you about. I ordered flowers from my missus. Got a message on the day that they were cancelled. On the day,
just in case she's watching. Yeah. Oh, they got cancelled.
Cancelled.
It's sweet. They got cancelled.
You know how bad this is, right? She just goes, "Yeah, sure they did," and she wanted to see the email because she knows how much I Photoshop things. She goes, "I don't believe it," so I had to go into my emails and say, "Look, I'm telling you now."
And was it an email from a funeral director saying you can't take flowers off grave?
So rookie mistake. I said, "Fuck it, you know what? Didn't get you flowers. Got to make it up to you. Let's go for a meal, baby." Yeah, so I rang that shit. Nice? Yeah, Little Caesars in Rathfarnham.
Nice.
Rookie mistake. Rang it at 12 o'clock. They opened at 12 o'clock. how's it going? Like to book a table? Yeah, no problem. We've got 6:30 left, or else we've got 8:30 left. I was like, oh, excellent. I said 8:30, perfect. Little did I know Chelsea were kicking off at 8:00. Forgot to check it. So I sat in Little Caesars, staring at me missus here, but one of my eyes was facing out this way because I had the Chelsea match here on the table as well.
Sounds real attractive.
So I was like, I'm there like that, and I'm like, I'm looking at the phone, and she's like talking to me, and I'm just like, like, for fuck's sake, and she's like, what? And I was like, Chelsea are after good season. She's like, it's so fucking wrong with you. So that's what I spent my Valentine's Day doing, heartbroken, coming home crying.
Went into your tiramisu in an Italian restaurant.
Yeah, it was really sad. Lovely meal.
I was delighted, for a brief period over the weekend. I was happy about football. I was like, United didn't play till Sunday. Chelsea lost 3-0. I gave you, text message to slag you.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, that happiness didn't last long.
Yeah,
but sure, we'll talk about it soon.
It was great to see. So that's it. And then we have our football score predictions as well for the weekend. So, Paddy, we'll jump into the football review. Okay, Paddy. The first up we have to look at is, unfortunately, Brighton and Chelsea. Brighton 3, Chelsea 0. At the moment, I'm kind of frustrated as a Chelsea fan because where do I even start from this? Because, right, if I can look at this result, right, I'll start off looking at this game, right? Terrible result. They only beat us in the cup. And, usually when you get beaten in the cup and you play the same team, you kind of want a bit of revenge. I was expecting we might have got something out of this, maybe even a draw or something like that. I think I said it last week that I don't think we're going to win it. I just don't think we're playing good enough to win it. I think I might have said we draw or something like that. So I wasn't surprised we didn't win, but I would have liked to see a stronger performance. Going forward, obviously Nicholas Jackson is now out pretty much till April, I think it is. So that's him pretty much done for the season. So that now leaves us without a number 9. We have Mark Guehi. I just can't pronounce that name. Guehi. I'm going to call him Guehi. I think it's Mark Guehi. He's also injured. And then it leaves us with Nkunku, who he's playing as a number 9. I don't really like him up as a number 9. I kind of like to see him dropping back a little bit deeper and getting involved a bit. So we're at the moment we're kind of left without a number 9. The one person, there was 2 people that I was slating. There was 3 people I was slating for the whole season. Ever since Enzo Fernandez has come back in the team, we've been losing matches and we haven't been getting results.
Yeah.
The next person is Robert Sanchez. Thank you, Maresca. He's dropped him, and that's fine. We have Jorgensen in goal. And Maresca has come out and said that Jorgensen is now his number 1 keeper. So I'm happy with that.
And he only conceded 3 goals the weekend.
Only conceded 3 goals. But I'll tell you why he conceded 3 goals, because he has a man sitting in front of him named Colwell, who is absolutely killing us. I would say he was the cause of 2 of the goals on the weekend.
Wow. Easy
dispossession. And then just gives away the ball, like looking for a free, didn't run back in. It was so lazy. It was just so lazy. So they're the 3 players that I think cost Chelsea, not this match, but in general. That's where our performances have been going. This performance, I don't want to spend too long on it because I want to talk about something else that people are talking about online as well. Terrible performance, terrible overall defensively. Cole Palmer, I want to see him stepping up a bit more. I'm not seeing enough from him. Madwecki, he's gone quiet. He had a great start of the season. He's not doing the same thing now. I'd like to see Neto in starting a bit more. And look, I think we made a ball.
Very surprising, because as we said before the podcast started, this isn't against a vintage Brighton side either.
No,
this is a team that got beaten by 7-8-0 against Forest a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
We made them look good as well. Now Chelsea have now made them look good.
Yeah.
Look, they have good players. They absolutely do, but they're not 3-0. Like the Chelsea first half of the season were so good. I can't understand what has been the big turnaround in the form.
I know I sound like an idiot saying this, but Enzo Fernandez coming back into that team, but Lavia has got injured, right? And we've seen him with Man City. That position is so important. You have Caicedo there, who was brilliant. Caicedo was absolutely excellent for us. But I think he needs someone beside him. He needs Lavia there beside him, right. And he doesn't have him. And ever since he's been injured, Enzo has sit back in there, and we're just getting exposed and we're getting beaten. That's all I can put down to. And but like I said as well, Sanchez and Robertson are the other. Sanchez and Colwell are the other 2.
You're nearly looking at 3/4 of your spine there in a team.
and it's a problem.
letting you down. Yeah.
And then obviously you can go up and you can say Nicholas Jackson's not there as well. So do you know what I mean? There's so much.
Your spine is gone.
There's so much wrong there. So so anyway, moving off that.
One more thing.
Go on.
Just last week we talked about Jadon Sancho.
Yeah.
The amount of posts now talking about his freedom, the freedom to be able to lose so many interceptions, miss so many passes, not close down. Oh, I loved it.
Getting onto this because I'm seeing a lot of shit online. There is another, there's a guy on TikTok. I think his name is Talk Chelsea or something like that. But if anybody is a Chelsea fan, they're listening, you'll know him because he goes, hello, Chelsea fans, or that's the way he starts it anyway. But I have a few discussions with him and stuff like that, and he came out and basically said that the fans, organizations, there's little groups of fans that are getting together now and protesting Todd Boehly. And I'm just like, what? That is embarrassing for the club. And now I'll be honest, right? I sort of understand it because it looks like, I just said to him, look, we're actually starting to look like Manchester United. And his response was, well, if we don't do something about it, we will end up like Manchester United. And I get that side of it, but like we finished, I think it was a sixth or something. We ended up finishing last season because we were so shit at the start of the season, but we had a good run at the end. So we didn't finish in a poor position. But if I look at
The Rock can take a long time to come in, and you don't even see it.
I know. But I'm looking at like development from last year to this year, and I'm seeing it. Like I'm seeing improvements. Like we went.
You finished stronger last season, and now you started strong, but you're really starting to tail off.
We are starting to drop a little bit, but like if you had said to me, like even like at the start of the season, you're gonna be at one stage challenging for the league, and everybody's gonna be talking about you challenging for the league. I know we're not there, and we're not challenging for the league now. But I would have said, yeah, happy days. That for me, that's development where you actually are challenging for it. We could fall off a cliff. Fair enough, that happens. Injuries aren't working our way. We can make excuses, but I think there is development in that team. I don't think we can go and just start blaming the owner. Look, he has a strange and a unique structure on the way he's doing things. He's buying young players. I'd like to think that that's not purely for profit. I think it's he's seeing a future star in maybe 3 or 4 years, but is he going to try to sell that player? I don't think so, because I don't think Todd Boehly's going to be there in that time, because I think they have some sort of agreement where they change over. So I just don't like seeing the online stuff where they're really slating Todd Boehly and everybody's calling for Abramovich back. Look, that's unrealistic. It's not going to happen.
But you can understand it because you do see the American owners coming in. You see Kroenke at Arsenal.
Yeah.
The Arsenal fans are kicking up more because he won't spend the money on a big striker, which is the final piece of the puzzle that they need. Chelsea, and I said this when the American owners came in, I said, just you have to be careful that it will turn into a Glazer thing. And then you're seeing the crazy spending that was going on, the scattergun approach, where it was someone that doesn't know a great deal about how to run a football club, because we had it with Woodward for years.
Yeah.
But you're seeing Boehly coming in. And yeah, in theory, it sounds like a good idea. We'll buy all these young players in, and it's nearly an investment. So if they don't work out, then we could sell them on in a couple of years. But does that work?
It's not reality, though.
But does it work to build a good environment for a football team when you have 30, 40, 50 players? Now, I know Maresca said, look, I don't talk to that group of players that's over there, but he may not. But players will be talking.
Oh, yeah, players talk. But the one thing I will say is that you've got so many players, and now you're going right. 20, what's the squad? 26 or 30, whatever, 28, whatever it is. You're going to have a good, really strong 28 players, but you've got 50 players. So now you have to sell them. But now you've got players that are sitting on the fringes, the likes of Joe Felix, who I think we've made a massive mistake with. We've had to sell him now because he was obviously so unhappy he wanted to leave. So we're not going to, like, all these players that are coming in, it sounds great, but it isn't going to work, right? So from that perspective, I understand why Chelsea fans want to protest this. But I just don't he's spending money, he's signing players. We show for Nkunku, we show for Felix, we got them in, they haven't performed. We got Palmer, who I think was one of the signings of the season. Like, we have all these players, but I think the only thing they're doing is they're really missing out on them key players, where it's a really good number 9 and a goalkeeper. But I think that there was things I read today that they're willing to break the wage structure now to give more of a fee and high wages to get someone in that is experienced and can be not 20 years of age.
But you talk like they haven't been spending massive money on these players.
No, they have in theory
massive money,
but
like
their wages are
80, 90 million.
But the wages are up. Because United are reverse.
I know that. I know. I get that. I know.
So I don't mind it.
But you aren't like looking at this like say, oh, it's an investment. You've bought say 50 players, and you look at say, right, you've Jackson out now at the moment.
Yeah.
How have you not got a replacement for him if you're buying so many players?
I don't know. Look, well, one of them that was supposed to be that replacement was your man Mark Gee, or whatever his name is, and I don't like the way I do and I don't like the way Maresca came out and said like this player's going to be playing there, he's back up to this player. This player's playing there, he's back up to that player, and he doesn't really necessarily rotate them around.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of put himself in the box where like if Jackson is out, yeah, Nkunku is the obvious replacement, right? But what if Nkunku is more effective on the left? Are we just not going to try that because you've said earlier in the season that he has to be a number 9? Like, so I don't like it that side. So I do think we still need it. Like, there's not many around though.
No,
there's not many 9s around.
I was going to bring up in a while. Like, every team is screaming.
Yeah, there's no number like Harry Kane, brilliant. Haaland, brilliant. But like Lewandowski, brilliant. But all about to retire.
Yeah, other than that, who is there?
Really? There's nobody like.
No.
There's no like big strong number 9s. Darwin Núñez. Actually, it's funny because one of the things later actually does make a good point on one of the unpopular opinions from someone sent in, and it is actually
we'll discuss it more.
We'll discuss it more. That's all I wanted to say about Chelsea was we are protesting against the owners. I mean,
you don't agree
calm down a bit. I don't agree with it. And listen, I'd be the first person to jump down their throats. I did it when United's owners were really bad to jump down their throats straight away. But the Chelsea ones, I kind of want everybody to chill a little bit, because I think the stuff we need to just look at individual player performances rather than I think owners. It wasn't an issue when we were winning. Do you know what I mean? Like nobody was complaining at all when we were winning. All of a sudden now we have a few injuries and we're struggling, and it's the owner's fault.
Yeah, but I just worry that is it not the owner's fault though? Because if you look at last season, so the last season was the first real season you've seen Chelsea doing something in the market and getting the manager in. And then the manager was gotten rid of at the end of the season, and they get in Maresca, and you're wondering here. So supposedly Pochettino was put out because he wanted too much power.
Yeah, well, he didn't want certain players.
Which the manager should have the final say.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, I agree.
Because Todd Boehly does not know more than Mauricio Pochettino about football. He does not know. I don't care what anybody says. And this is the longer you let it run, like it has at Manchester United, the worse it gets, and it gets to a certain stage there, and when it's nearly impossible to turn it around. Yeah,
and you don't want to get that far. There is, like I said about that thing, there is, as far as I know, they rotate positions and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure on what way it's structured, but I think Boehly might be out the next year or two anyway. So, right, that's all I wanted to say on that. We'll move off because we do have quite a bit to get through. So, next one up, Paddy, Spurs United. Go ahead, Tommy.
Yeah, same old story, so I won't spend too much time on this. Driving here this evening, thinking about the match. So much negativity around the club. I've stopped listening to Manchester United podcasts because it is like, it's mad. It is like the club is cursed. There's just so much injuries, and we had a bench. And what was the stat during the game that was read out? There was something like there was 300 appearances, and 299 of them were by Lindelof. There was only one more for Haven, who played for Arsenal.
No,
there was none of them had a senior cap. Like, I mean, for a first team.
Yeah.
So 1-0, we played okay, and we looked okay, but then in the context of it, we look okay against a Tottenham side that lost against Ipswich at home.
Yeah.
That lost against a couple of other lower teams at home.
They're up and down. They're like yo-yos.
They hadn't won a game at home in 15 weeks before Manchester United came to town.
Yeah.
So look, Garnacho missed Sitter near the start, not Sitter, but look, a really good chance at the start. And probably should have got the goal. But yeah, look, I'm not going to go. Look, it's the same old story with United. 1-0 loss. Just can't wait for this Premier League season to end and bring on the fucking cup competitions, because at least we might do something.
Fucking hell. Right. Look, Paddy, there's a couple of other things we'll talk about. Because they're coming up. So we will end on that one there. So Paddy, the next thing we're going to be jumping on to is the fantasy football. Right, I'm going to be pulling up the league up onto the screen now. So if you are listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts, you can head over to the YouTube. Actually, on Spotify now, you can watch us as well. So
the YouTube.
You can actually fucking watch us on Spotify now these days.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, you can. Yeah. So if you're driving, I'd suggest just watch us and forget about the road because we're more important than what's going on in front of you.
Yeah, you can watch
100 miles an hour. Watch us. Don't watch the road. You'll be fine. For legal reasons, obviously we don't mean that. Paddy, I've played me assistant manager. Do you know what I realised? That this assistant manager apparently lasts 3 game weeks, which I didn't know. So last week, Liverpool had a double week, and this week they have a double week. So someone's after getting 4 games in 2 weeks. And I didn't notice. And I was saying to myself, why is everybody playing the assistant manager? Why are they not playing triple captain on Salah? So I've played me assistant manager this week, and look.
Who'd you pick?
Slot.
Oh.
So yeah. So I've had 54 points so far. Game week isn't over. 48 is the average, so I'm just above average. That was with 2 transfers as well. In goal, I had Henderson with 2 points. I had Trent Alexander-Arnold with 6 points. He got taken off in like the 63rd minute or something when they hadn't conceded. So I got me clean sheet.
Oh, very good.
So I'd lose me clean sheet if he had conceded while he was on the pitch. So I kept me clean sheet. So that worked out 3. I have Aina. I've gotten rid of him. He hasn't got me 1 fucking point since I put him in. Hall as well has got me fuck all. Elanga 2 points shy. Mo Salah's captain 16 points, always delivers. Cole Palmer 2 points, crap. Cliver at the Brighton 5 points. I have Wissa at top. I brought him in 2 points. Isaac 2 points, and then Ollie Watkins who I brought in as well 8 points. So I still have Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and Watkins to play.
Who are playing against each other.
Yeah, who are playing against each other. So that is where we are. And let's have a look at your one. Where are you?
I'm moving up.
Still a green arrow. That's good. Yeah. What have you got here?
So 52 points. So Sells and goal 3 points. I have still 6 players to get points from.
Jesus.
So I played my what's the one? The wild card. Yeah, but the one that only lasts one week.
Oh, free hit.
Yeah. So I brought in the 6 lads from the boys that had 2 game weeks. So I'm hoping to still get another few points in. Hall had 0. Digney had 1. Van Dijk had 1. So not great returns on them. Palmer 2, Kluivert 5, Mo Salah, my captain 16, Rashford 7 points.
He's cheap, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's like 5.6.
Yeah, worth getting in. Gakpo didn't play. Chris Wood again. There's a striker we were talking about earlier on, but you stick Chris Wood as a striker in say the noughties into the Premier League, and he'd be a mid-table striker, good, but now he looks like a world beater. You know,
actually, Watkins is another one that Chelsea have been lined up to sign as well. Like, which I'd actually,
yeah,
that'd be a good.
So that's it. Yeah, Ollie Watkins. So there's still plenty of points to come.
Yeah, okay. Right beyond the ball, dollar sign. So we're still going. We're going with the league. There hasn't been any movement in the top 7. So Adam McDonald is still leading the way. 62 points he's on currently. 1,711 points. He's creating a gap now between second place. So fair play to him. Aaron Gray is in second with 1,657. Only 44 points so far. Harry O'Sullivan is in third with 1,621. He's got 49 points. Then I'm in fourth with 1,596. Liam McDonald is in fifth. Jordan Murphy in sixth. Noel Gain in seventh. Christian Gernon has jumped up to 8th. Keane Costello's up to 9th. And Luke Walsh falls down to 10th.
Very good.
Paddy.
January, let's do it.
The moment of truth. January. Who has won it? Drum roll. The headphone users. Adam McDonald.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Adam McDonald. Paddy, a respectable third for yourself.
14 points away.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that was good. And Johnny Murphy finished second. So Adam McDonald, congratulations. You have won your monthly fancy football. I will be sending you €20. €20 will be on your way. Don't worry, you don't have to contact me. I will. Actually, we did say, remember a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago that we were going to say they're only getting it if they send us in a video saying Beyond the Balls best. So, you know, you're not getting it until you actually send us a video saying Beyond the Balls best podcast in the world. So, fuck you. No, I will be sending it to them because people think I'm scamming people then. Right, that's it, Paddy. Fancy football is done. And next we're going to be jumping on to the unpopular football.
Yeah, let's go.
Right, Paddy. A couple of wild ones, couple of repeating ones, kind of. A lot about United. So we'll go through some of them. Again, some will get more attention than others because we are, I think, fucking 30 minutes in, or 25 minutes in at this stage. So, and we've quite a lot to get through. We both have one in as well. My one, I think, is very good.
It is good, but yeah, we'll talk about more. But I have to say, 3 years now doing the podcast, this is the best segment I've gotten to do on the podcast.
What about the fashion show? You didn't like the fashion show? I think we should bring the fashion show.
Never in a million years. I'm gone. But look, you know why? Because of the interaction from the listeners and viewers. Yeah. Thank you so much for these questions. It makes it so much fun. Right,
first one up, a wild one again from Malaya's Football World 2.0. Filippo Inzaghi is the GOAT Italian striker. Paddy, Filippo Inzaghi, for me, is someone that I remember from playing Premier Manager in '98. So that is literally the only memory I actually have of him. Obviously, he was good. It was a good striker. Not much to add on to this because is there better Italian strikers? I can't. Balotelli. Let's go Balotelli.
That would be an economical matter.
So look, this one, I'm not going to say he's not the GOAT. I'm not going to say he is the GOAT.
You say he is or isn't, and I'll go the opposite.
It's a long time ago. He isn't.
I'll say he is the Italian striker, the GOAT of Italian strikers. Well done, Filippo. You won the award, the Beyond the Wall Italian Striker Award.
Right, we're not going to spend long on that one because it's a wild one. So Malaya's Football World 2.0, a wild one. Keep sending the wild ones in. I actually love them. They're actually quite
yeah.
I like it. Paddy, do you want to go to the next one?
Did you set this up?
I swear, I don't know what order these are in.
Thomas _ Elliot 92. Rumored Amarin is actually clueless. No, I don't. I strongly don't agree with this. No, absolutely not. I don't. And I don't think a lot of the managers that have been at Manchester United have been clueless. I think it's a club and a culture thing that has to change and is changing. We're hitting rock bottom now, and it will come up starting from next season. And I think Ruben is the man to get us there. I think what he done in Portugal was really good. He came in, it was the same sort of story with Sporting Lisbon for the first couple of months, and then he brought them back, won a couple of league titles when they weren't the biggest team in Portugal. And he's a lot more resource. We will have a lot more resources here at Manchester United, we hope. Even though there's a lot more redundancies happening at the moment. I love how he talks with the media. And yeah, no, I strongly disagree with this.
And when he's getting married, I agree with it. I'm going to say, I agree with it. I think he's clueless. He has Manchester United, the biggest club in the world. The biggest club in the world. He's managing the biggest club in the world, 15th in the league. I wouldn't mind if it was 15th after 10 games. 25 games in.
He wasn't there for 25 games.
Don't care. Still got them.
Yeah, but he wasn't there for 25 games.
Okay.
Right, well then if this isn't going to be an intelligent conversation,
no improvement. You remember that thing we always talk about?
Put your fishing rod away, Colly. Put your fishing rod away. You're not going to catch a fish today.
Do you remember? I'm going to catch a whale, baby. Do you remember we used to talk about this manager bounce that used to exist? Why didn't it exist at United?
Why didn't it? It doesn't work all the time. Manager. I don't want to bounce.
It's not a real thing.
I don't want to bounce. I don't want just to bounce. The same as every other Manchester United manager came in.
You want class.
I just want us to be a proper football club again, which we will be under Amarin. We will. Ferguson finished third at the end of one of his seasons, 7 seasons to win the league with him.
I'm
not crying out. I'm bringing positivity back to Manchester United because there's too much negativity. So I'm being positive now for all of the club. I'm going to be the one shining light that's going to bring United back to where they belong, and it's going to start here on Beyond the Ball. The positivity starts. I'm sick of all the former players and pundits, all their negativity. Thanks very much for your comment, but it's negative, so don't stop sending negative comments in, okay?
If I remember from my Instagram followers, I believe he's a Chelsea fan.
I should have known. I should have known.
I'm not sure, but I think that name rings a bell as a Chelsea fan. So you strongly disagree with this?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with it. I think he is close. I don't think his tactics are going to work with that shit team. So you want to bring the positivity back to United?
I am bringing it back.
Right, next one up. David De Gea would have been more solid in the last 2 years than Onana. That's in from Boris. Do you agree or disagree with that one?
No, because I think he would have been as bad. I'm not saying he would have been better. Because he was as bad before he left. He was shocking.
I think the disrespect that David De Gea was shown was terrible. For the years of service, there was
no disrespect shown. There was no disrespect.
I think there was.
There was to prove it. Why are you talking about?
I think because he said, well, not even because he said it, but because there was a little link with him and Real Madrid, everybody had assumed that he was like just not performing. But like he went through a bad spell, which a lot of keepers do as well. But everybody thought it was down that he was being distracted.
He went through about 5 bad spells.
Well, listen, was he not one of the best keepers in the world at some stage?
But like every United player at the moment, and that has been at the club in the last while, they've all suffered with form. Like you see David De Gea now, at his new club. No, but you see him come to his new club now, and he's playing great.
Yeah,
he's playing really, really well. If you see Onana going to a different club now, you'd probably see him playing really like he was playing at Inter. It's not the players.
Is it confidence?
It's not. It's just I don't know. Look, it's the culture. It's the negativity around the club, but it doesn't matter anymore because I'm bringing the positivity back.
Right then, the next one you can read this one.
Oh jeez. All right, on the same team. This is kind of the same conversation. Dean Riley 475. De Gea is better than Onana with one hand. He's a better shot stopper. He did win multiple Player of the Season awards at Manchester United, and I'm not discounting what David De Gea done for us, but himself, like every other player at the club, lost form and couldn't get it back, so he needed to be moved on. But unfortunately, Onana has come in to the same negative culture that has to be turned around. Starting here tonight.
You're on Onana's side. Do you actually want to stick with Onana, or do you think you could get better? What do you think?
I'd give him another season.
Would you?
I'd give him one more season. Yeah. And one more, like, not because I'm saying he's performed, but I want to see when confidence is going through this team. I think he has the personality to play for Manchester United.
Yeah.
Whether he has the ability or not is questionable. But he did do great things at Inter Milan. So there is a player there. So I would say give him another season. If it doesn't work out, well, then he has to move on. Absolutely.
Do you know what, right? Whatever happened to goalkeepers pushing the ball away from the goal? So many times I've seen it, and I was actually only chatting with the lads in the group. The goal that he's conceded, that's Onana, just parries it out right in front of him. Do you remember, like, back in the day, and like even us as players, outfield players that wouldn't have thought about goalkeeping, you're always taught to push the ball away from the goal. Like any trying to see, you get your hand on it, you make sure you're pushing the ball away from the goal.
Yeah.
Now I'm seeing so much where like people are just like getting their hand to it and it's just kind of bouncing off them. Like, what? Is there something like that's changed that I don't know about?
The ball's lighter, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is it due to
there's more movement, so they can't get the same
connection with their hand or something
behind it? Yeah. But irrespective of stuff like that, so that's something that can happen. You know, you can't get your push away, but he's made some really, really bad mistakes over the past few months, which can't really be explained. But again,
I can explain them.
Well, yeah. Look, I can look. We'll talk about my unpopular opinion later on, but I think any player coming into this team would perform poorly. But yeah, let's move on.
Let's see yours. Okay, Mac Attack Q4101783. Chelsea and United have sold each other dirt players. So obviously,
recently I would take that as
we've obviously sold you Mason Mount. You have sold us Jadon Sancho. I think we've got the better deal, if I'm being honest, looking at how things have gone.
I think we got the better player, but we've just been unlucky with injuries.
I would argue to say Mount's probably not the better player. I did like Mount at Chelsea, I actually came across, I think it was on TikTok I posted, and I done a little highlight reel on TikTok and I said, enjoy the most frustrating player you'll ever have in your team. And I just have all the highlights of Mason Mount just doing stupid things. Like, these simple passes.
Mason Mount won big trophies with Chelsea.
He won the Champions League. He won the Champions League. He did the only
and he didn't just win it as a squad player. He was one of the main.
No, he was, and to be fair, he was the one that assisted the goal as well in the final. So
all through the whole competition.
He had a very good season, and I was a little bit disappointed when he came out and left and said he wanted to leave. I think a lot of Chelsea fans became a little bit bitter because he kept saying that I'm a Chelsea boy, look, I want to be here forever and all this shit, and then all of a sudden going to United, it was a bit of a kick in the teeth for all the Chelsea fans.
Yeah, I get that.
Sour grapes, I think, for a lot of us. And a lot of us are a little bit smug about how his career is now going. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, we kind of laugh at it. But I think definitely if we look at what's after happening so far, I think Chelsea have probably got the better deal at the moment anyway. Now, that may change. Mount is probably still fairly young. Probably, was he 24, 25 now, I'd say he is. Maybe even a little bit older, 26.
Yeah, look, he needs a run in the team.
Yeah.
There's no two ways about it. But I don't think Sancho has been at Chelsea long enough to even judge him yet.
No.
Really judge him.
Performances-wise, you could judge over a couple of games.
Yeah,
he's had some good performances. One or two bad ones thrown in there, which everybody has. So,
more
so
than
far, one.
more than 50% of his performances have been bad.
Now, you stop that nonsense right now, okay?
Yeah. But he has freedom, so it's okay. He's free.
Freedom. He feels like fucking
William Wallace.
William Wallace, that's the one. Yeah. Jesus, me mind went blank. So I agree with this one. Yeah, I agree. I believe we have sold each other shit. Like we're saying, like
no, I
agree,
don't.
But
I think they're shit. I do believe Sancho's shit.
Oh, of course you do.
But he is. He's done nothing.
If you signed him back, you'd be like, oh, fucking hell.
I wouldn't sign him back. No, I wouldn't.
Paul Pogba?
I wouldn't.
I seen something coming out today that United are 8-1 to sign back Paul Pogba. So that actually could be happening.
Yeah, but it'll be on very strict terms.
Yeah.
It will be on very
strict
terms.
It have to be.
Yeah, but look, absolutely. Look at the weekend. The injuries we had were just shocking. With no options in the middle of the park. Him to fit into one of those deep line players, number 2 to push Fernandes up the field is exactly what we need.
Yeah, okay. So do you agree with this? You disagree with this?
I'm sitting on the fence on this one.
Okay.
Because I do believe that Mason Mount could be a good player for us.
Okay. Next one up. This is you, I believe.
Aaron __ Singleton. United will win the league before Chelsea. Yeah, I agree with this.
Absolutely not.
I do.
There's absolutely no
chance. If Abramovich was at Chelsea, I'd say no. But under the new ownership, yeah, I do think we will. No. Because I think now you're only seeing the infancy of United's change. And things will
we've seen
it as a proper footballing club.
We've seen United change for the last 10 years, apparently.
Yeah, no, you haven't.
That's we had it was a
let's not talk managers. We're not talking managers. We're not talking managers. Because the whole problem from the start was the Glazers.
No. Yeah. Forget about that. Because you still won stuff under Glazers.
Look, you're going out with your Chelsea mates now, protesting against the owners next week.
I said, don't protest. I don't want to protest.
I said at the start of the season about the Chelsea owners. I said, watch this space. They will turn into the next Glazers.
We're sixth. We're not doing too bad.
Falling.
Yeah. I don't think it's that bad. Ralph Ragnick.
Now look,
this was the guy that was going to come in and change.
So Chelsea are in a good place right now, right?
Yeah.
As a Chelsea supporter, you're sitting here going, "You were sixth. That's okay," and you're accepting that.
No, I'm looking at it from
a loser's point of view.
No, from last season and the season
because
before.
You know how bad
you have to accept reality, and that's what I always said. Manchester United fans used to live in the past. Now they've got a bit of reality. They used to live in the past with Fergie. Living in dreamland.
You lived in the past with Fergie.
Sorry, you lived in dreamland with Fergie where you were winning everything.
Wasn't dreamland?
Like winning all the titles now. And then I said, right, wait and you see when Fergie goes, you are going to be miserable. And I had so many people saying, oh, no, we won't. We'll be class. We'll be grand. Nothing wrong with it. We won the league. Look at you now. 10 years. I'd love to find a Facebook post that I put up 10 years ago and just said, can't wait for you to all cry about this.
Yeah, but I'd say you'd find 10 Facebook posts saying one would be saying they're good, one would be saying they're bad, one would be saying they're different.
No. I'm very very direct,
Yeah, you're just looking for fishing. Go on, fishing.
Oh, I got some 100%. I threw that rod out, I got a while.
United will win the league before Chelsea. I agree with this.
I strongly disagree. I feel like we're in such a better place. Like all you have to do at the moment is look at the league table. Forget about your owners, forget about your fucking forget about everything else. Look at the league table. The results speak for themselves.
Yeah, like you sound now exactly like the United fans did that you're slagging when Ferguson left. You're like, no, things are good. You have to look at the table. Doesn't matter. No, blinded. Oh, yeah. No.
First page. Right then, yeah, I'm in denial, but I strongly disagree with this. I think we'll win the league for you as well. And it's not even going to be that far away. It's going to be 5 years away. 4 or 5 years away. Is it me or you? Oh, it's me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mr. Jason Garvey. Never mind the Rooneys, Henry's, Drogba's, and Torres's. the current Prem doesn't have anyone as good as Defoe. I know I'm just living in the past, but I love good football. I fucking agree with this.
Well, come on, Erling Haaland, you have to take out that.
Yeah, Haaland.
And we're talking about just striking position here.
Yeah. I would say that, right. So you've got Haaland who's the exception.
Yeah.
Ollie Watkins.
No.
Who would you prefer, Defoe or Ollie Watkins? So probably fucking Defoe. He's a little bit more dangerous, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he's right. Chris Wood.
Isaac is probably an exception. Yeah. Isaac's Chris Wood. I mean,
different type of player.
Different type of player altogether. Yeah. More like a Peter Crouch.
Target man.
Not as big as Peter Crouch.
But so talking about all these, like even Defoe, though, like I wouldn't have counted him as an out and out striker. You know, like
he was a 9. He was him and Robbie Keane together.
Yeah. I suppose maybe nowadays, because all the strikers now, there's one of them up front, and you're nearly always looking for that big man up front that can hold up the ball.
Yeah.
There is no more. I suppose those strikers now have turned into wingers.
Yeah, they're all wingers. Yeah. You want your goal for your wingers now. Like wingers back in the day, it used to all be like assists. How many assists you get? David Beckham judged on all of his assists. You never go, oh, David Beckham had a world class fucking goal scorer because he didn't his assists and passing. Like that was the bread and butter for Beckham.
Yeah.
Now it's like, can you beat a player and get a shot away? That's your winger kind of. So I kind of agree with this one because you look at these players, and that's even just going like Rooney's there, Henry there, Drogba there, Torres there. They're all in the same era. Like that's
crazy,
that's your top 4 team there.
Crazy.
Like that's your United, your Arsenal, your Liverpool, your Chelsea.
Yeah.
Like now you're looking at like,
and that wasn't the only strikers that they had on those teams.
No, there was loads more. And then you look at it now, right? So who do United have
now?
Hoyland is their striker.
And Xerxes,
right?
And Xerxes not even a number 10.
Yeah. Chelsea, Nicholas Jackson. I don't know what the fucking getting, but that's what. Spurs have fucking Richarlison. They had Kane, which was the exception, but obviously he's gone. He
and this new fella they got from Bayern Munich.
Yeah. So but then like even now, City have Haaland, but they had Aguero back in the day as well. So Aguero was Nunes.
I'm just thinking about the top clubs. Like Arsenal are screaming out for a striker.
None of the stand, and this goes back to what we were talking about last week. The standard of football in the Premier League over the last couple of years deteriorating.
Lewandowski's at Barca.
Yeah.
But when he goes, who are they going to get? Real Madrid. Who's their out and out striker now? They haven't got like an out and out main man like striker. You know, Mbappe is the more you'd like.
There would always be like someone that's like world class at them. Like, like they had Benzema.
Benzema he was a proper
for years. He was really like he didn't get the kudos because Ronaldo was there taking everything. But he was fucking so good with them.
Yeah.
Ibrahimovic again back in the day was another good one that was kind of bouncing around clubs as well. But like it's very true. There's no one like football's not as entertaining now.
No.
Like, do you know what I love doing? I love turning on Sky Sports, and do you know what I love seeing? Premier League years. Do you remember you used to watch that on Sky Sports? Yeah. And I used to remember loads of the goals, and I'd be like, how do I remember that? And it's just because I watched that so much because it was just so entertaining. The matches were so entertaining. Yeah. The tackles, everything, the hatred for each other, like the rivalry.
So much more passionate. It's too analytical and technical now.
Yeah, it's too much bullshit going on. So I strongly agree with this one. I strongly agree with it. Right, next one. This is you.
Joe Gorman, 94. I'm such a good footballer. I'm a good player. And we might be a footballer. Might be just a player. Play on. But I don't know who he is.
So obviously we had Joe on the podcast. We had Joe on the podcast. So Joe writing it into us saying this would mean that the popular opinion would everybody thinks he's shit.
Oh yeah.
So I think he shot himself in the foot on this comment.
So I'm gonna agree with him or disagree. Shit, yeah.
Joe Gorman shit. You heard it first from Paddy. Paddy is called Joe Gorman shit at football.
Okay.
No, I disagree. Yeah, Joe's a good player.
Is he? I've never seen him play.
Joe's a very good player. Yeah. On the podcast, great storyteller.
Yeah.
We'll definitely when we're getting our guests back on as well. We'll definitely be getting our.
He can sit on your lap. He's not sitting on mine.
He can sit on my lap. Yeah, absolutely no problem. Actually, a big shout out to Paul as well. Paul Bourne, who we had on the podcast before. Yeah. Paul had a heart attack there a couple of weeks ago. I think it was maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago. And someone apparently he had actually died in a pub. He was out having a few pints, and someone saved him. So he's on the mend. We were chatting to him. He's doing good now. So just want to send our wishes, best wishes out to Paul as well. Right, next one.
That's you.
That's me. Andy Mac _. I don't know if there's a second underscore there, but I've given him one. _25 sexy football is ruining football. End of debate. So what he means by this is obviously everything's gone very tactical now. You play out from the back. Yeah. Everything's kind of like, everything's like, it's almost like it's like an American football where you have a play, like where you're kind of like, everything's very planned out. Like
analyzed to the nth degree. And even after the game, like, say you've got all these experts, that men now on YouTube and
moving people around.
And every little mistake that's made is analyzed so much that players are so afraid to make a mistake now. They're nearly afraid to take a chance.
Yeah.
So that dynamism, that excitement that was in football is gone now because people know if I make a mistake, it's going to be
horrible.
Yeah.
And it's all, I think online stuff has ruined it as well. Like all this online shit that comes in. And this could be an unpopular opinion that I have, but I don't think footballers should be allowed to have social media.
No,
I actually genuinely don't think they should be allowed, and they should be wrapped up, not wrapped up in wool, but
in a bubble. They should be in
a bubble away from all that.
There should be radio silence, especially mid-season, especially while you're playing.
Yeah,
on the off season.
Yeah, maybe on the off season. I agree with that. I agree with that. Like, there's no noise then, like for them, and
they're paid so much money that it's the least you could ask them is to stay away from social media, especially when it's not a big deal if you're winning.
Yeah.
But when you're losing, and again, it's another thing. There's so many people talking negatively about it. Does seep in.
Yeah.
I really do believe it seeps in.
It does. And even all the players, actually, and one that I didn't bring up, probably could have brought it up. No, I couldn't have brought it up next, but the Spurs and United game, Maddison scoring the goal and throwing the dart and then doing that. That was to Roy Keane, because Roy Keane basically said, like, if you're in that Spurs team and you're like, all right, who's going to get us going? You see Maddison coming on. Are you going to be fired up at Maddison?
No, he actually said, I watched it. He said he's a good player, but he doesn't do it consistently enough.
Yeah. Which is true.
Which is fair enough, yeah.
And kind of, who's that fire back?
But I like that he done it. I like that he done it.
Yeah.
It's a bit of crack.
I don't mind it, but at the same time, is that playing on his mind while he's playing?
I know it is.
And is it affecting his
Yeah, probably,
so,
You're right. Yeah, it does, yeah.
I don't like it. So sexy football is ruining football. I'm going to agree with this, and I'm going to actually say sexy football has seeped from football into refereeing as well, and that's why we have VAR. And VAR is part of sexy football. I'm going to include it in it.
Yeah, I think it's the worst in the Premier League.
Yeah,
I don't think it's like that anywhere else in the world.
No, Spain is Spain has always been a little bit sexy football. Like, Barca and Real have always been sexy football. Like
I'm looking at Anthony now after going to Real Betis.
Yeah.
3 games, 3 goals, 3 man of the matches. Yeah. Looking at, but you can understand why, because the glare and the negativity around Manchester United, it's just pulling the
English
performances down. Yeah,
English media as a whole, and the English media has kind of always been like that as well. Like, but now it's the social media side of it.
Like you look at when Liverpool were dominant in this 80s, 70s, and when their team finished, all of their best players became pundits.
Yeah.
Then Liverpool had a period of mediocrity.
Yeah.
With their former great players constantly berating them, telling them how much better they had to do. And it's crazy how the history is repeating itself now, because you're seeing it with United, that the players we loved to see winning under Ferguson are now consistently and constantly berating and bringing down United.
Yeah.
And it's just poison, and it does not work. It cannot be allowed to like they because even these players, I'm not just talking about Manchester United, these former players that talk about the club currently, do they forget that they were players once as well?
Yeah.
And if they really love the club, well then just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I think obviously that they're paid. I think they're paid. I honestly think someone says the Gary Neville each week, go and say something fucking stupid and get some clicks. And
he really annoyed me last weekend. He really annoyed me. Yeah, well, I was watching the Spurs game, and I was like, I understand what Colly was saying now.
Yeah,
because you said it the other week about he just aggravated you.
Oh, he does. Yeah,
some of the things he was saying, and I was like, this fella's on the board from Manchester United in terms of helping the regeneration of the area and stuff, and he's sitting there, and they're talking about, I'm the new manager, we have to give him time, blah blah blah. 15 games in. Oh, is it time to start asking questions now about the ball? And I'm like, oh my God, like, it's like they're idiots.
And I like him, but he just talks shite sometimes. And it's only sometimes. It's like, if you look at him on like the overlap and stuff, I like him in that. He's having a crack, and he is quite knowledgeable about football. And let's call it spade a spade. He obviously knows more football than fucking me and you, like on the back of his hand. Like, but I just think he says some stupid things that someone has maybe told him to say. I don't know if they told him to say it or if he just wants to be controversial just to get himself out there a bit more.
He has this, like, I think he gets it probably from playing under Ferguson and stuff. He has this no-nonsense attitude where he'll just say whatever's in his mind.
Yeah.
Even to the detriment of who he's saying it about. And he has come out and apologized a couple of times. But when every single United legend is coming out and saying, these are so bad, this is so bad, like, it's only going to end one way.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I agree with that. You agree, yeah. Okay. Paddy, this is your one.
Oh, Big Paddy. Man United 99 team players wouldn't cut it in the current squad. Look, I brought this around, and it's not just Man United 99 team. I think even the Man City treble winning team from a few seasons ago, I think Mohamed Salah, if you brought him into Manchester United at the moment, would not perform nearly to the level. I'm not saying he wouldn't get goals. He'd get goals, but it'd only be so long before the negativity and the poor culture around the club would bring them down to a shadow of their former selves. Like, I can guarantee the only player I've seen anyway consistently playing halfway decent at United is Bruno Fernandes. And I'd say like I honestly believe if he was in a Man City, a Liverpool, he would be running the show in terms of his ability.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, and look, you're looking at the players going out, being able to perform. David Beckham, Roy Keane, Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes, Yapstam.
Ryan Giggs performed at Spurs.
Yeah. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Dwight York, Andy Cole. You bring any of those players individually, bring in 2 or 3 of them even into the current squad, and they underperform, and United wouldn't be in much of a better position than they are now. They could be mid-table.
Do you not think if you bring them type of players in, you have a structure, and not a structure, like you can get a spine, but they also bring a lot of an attitude with them that might be good on the team though. So do you know what I mean? Like, although you're bringing in their individual ability, they also bring in a mindset that if you bring Roy Keane into that team, I think he pisses so many people off that the people that don't want to be there leave, and you're left with people that want to be there. But
I don't believe over the last 10 to 12 years since Ferguson left, there haven't been players with that same mindset that have came into that dressing room and still have been able to affect it, fundamentally change it.
I think there's been a lot.
We had the season we had Ibrahimovic there.
Yeah.
Cavani, Ronaldo.
Yeah.
You do have these players coming in, and they're coming in, and it's nearly a one-man team. Then it's like it's nearly like it's them.
It's focus on them
and the rest of the players.
Yeah. It's like Chelsea with Cole Palmer at the moment, I think.
Whereas when Ferguson came in, it was always the team.
Yeah.
There was never like one really.
Beckham would have been in the media.
Media, but within the club,
but they all kept them grounded.
Absolutely,
I think Keane and all kept them grounded. I think that Roy Keane was a great captain.
Roy Keane is the best captain that's ever been in the Premier League, I would say. But other people would say, okay, well, that's another discussion. That's another popular opinion for next week. I can't remember. I lost my train of thought.
Because you were thinking about John Terry, this man right here. Look at him. He's a sexy arse on him.
Okay, well, that's going to be a good point for fine. Let's move on.
Right, so you're saying that they wouldn't do anything, and where so I am just so you're just confirming that you're saying even if you brought a couple of them in.
I remember what I was going to say now.
Okay.
Roy Keane, best captain in Manchester United's history. Let's talk about just Manchester United.
Okay.
When he came in from Notts Forest, he still talks about now the leaders he had to look up to that brought him through.
Yeah.
Which then made him become a leader and pass that same message on.
Yeah.
So what you need a current manager to do is to build a spine of mature players that will be the example for all the other players that come in. Yeah. And that will happen under Armour.
Fergie was somewhat of an expert at doing that, though, wasn't he? He was bringing in young players.
He wasn't on the training pitch much.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He left it there. Let the players manage themselves nearly.
Let the coaches work out the tactical side of the game.
Yeah.
He was there to create the culture.
Yeah, cool. All right. So I don't know if I agree or disagree with it, Paddy, because like in the sense, like I think if you brought back Roy Keane, he would make a difference. So I'm going to disagree with it. Just because I think if you bring Roy Keane, you don't just get his football. You get his mentality, you get everything else along that comes with him.
But would you not, because of today's football, would you not get a lot of players just dislike him because he's too harsh?
But I think that might get rid of players, piss players off, and I think what you'll get players that want to be there, want to want to buy into it, still there.
I think the perfect example of this, to go against what you're saying, is when Ronaldo came back. Ronaldo came back and he got out as quick as he could.
Yeah.
Because
he couldn't give that,
irrespective of his influence. And nobody has a bigger influence than Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. My one, Paddy. So this is my one. This one again is kind of aimed at more Irish developing football.
Yeah.
So Colly, Irish footballers should be allowed to go to England at a young age and not have to wait till they're older, because they miss out on potentially better development.
So that's because of Brexit, essentially.
Yeah.
So they can't go as young now anymore.
Exactly.
It is true.
Yeah. So they can't. So I used to always remember back in the day, scouts would be snooping around from the age of 13, 14, and that was your prime time when you were growing up.
Yeah.
That if you weren't getting looked at by scouts or the Irish team wasn't snooping around, you were you'd be very lucky to get a move abroad. Now it seems that and I get it, because they want to push players to League of Ireland and stuff like that. But I just feel like that if you send players over at a younger age to somebody like fucking a West Brom, a Sunderland, or something like that, the facilities they have at their disposal and the coaching that they have available is far superior than what they've got here. I just think it's more professional setup. I just think that their mindset becomes a lot better. I just think this is a thing, and I might be wrong, and I'm commenting if you disagree with me, but I think this is not only a Brexit thing, but I think this is an FAI thing where they have said to themselves, right, hold on a second, there's an opportunity here. If we keep a player till he's 17, 18, the club then have to spend money on him rather than just going over and offering him a contract. So if he's signed with, say, like a Bowles, or if he's signed with a Shamrock Rovers or whoever it might be, we might get $1 million out of his transfer fee and we might recoup some money from that. So I think it's a little bit of, I know hands were kind of forced with Brexit, but then I think FAI just kind of went, okay, well, let's go with it.
Well, it is definitely a Brexit thing, but I think if there was a player from Ireland who was talented enough, I think English clubs have feeder EU clubs.
Yeah.
So they'd sign them through them, let them go there, develop, and then they'll get them on someone.
Yeah, because it is a thing. You can go to Europe, can't you? Because I'm not 100%. I just
EU,
think it's you can. Okay. So because you're seeing a lot more footballers now over in like the likes of France and Italy and Germany.
And that's what's happening.
Yeah, it seems to be happening. And I think that's actually better for a lot of Irish players to go over to them countries, because if they do become good, then you have your look at Jake O'Brien. Defender went to Lyon, was it? One of the French clubs anyway. I think Everton picked him up. All of a sudden he's made it. So I think send them over abroad early. I know it's a big thing because you have to move the family or whoever.
They don't speak the language, so it was a much easier move to go to England.
Yeah, it was.
Than it was. But look, in the long run, it could be a good thing.
Yeah, but I just think I'm more getting at the development of the individual player, just the feel, the experience, everything. I just think is so much better when you move abroad. Now, they do still put you through school and stuff like that over there as well. So you do have an education while you're over there. So if you leave early, you're not just kind of left just playing football. You do still have education and stuff like that. So do you agree or disagree with this? Do you think
no, I agree. It's a negative for Irish football. Because even if you do get to go to France, or
is it a negative for Irish football or just individually for Irish players? Because if you look at it, then Irish football
negative for Irish football.
Do you think so? Yeah,
as a whole, I definitely do. I think the earlier we can get players out of the country, well, unless our own league comes up to a higher standard. But it's not high enough standard yet. And what will happen then is our national team will suffer from it because they're not playing at a high enough standard from a young age to be able to then perform at the highest level internationally. But if
that's what I'm looking at as well.
And I
think international
level. Absolutely.
Because I would look.
I agree.
There's nothing better. There's no better feeling than when Ireland are in a major competition. The crack around the whole country is fucking unbelievable. You look at the Euros and stuff when we scored, Brady scoring the header and all. Unbelievable scenes, and just stuff that's core memories that stick with you forever, and you get to go to the pub with all your mates, everybody jumping around, hugging each other, people you don't know, you're grabbing out, and that is what we want for the future of Irish football. And I think development is the main thing for players.
No, absolutely. But I do think in this country that a lot of people wouldn't realise, but the FAI and the DDSL in particular are doing an awful lot for the development of young players in this country at the moment. And I think within the next 10 to 15 years, you're going to see some really talented technical footballers coming from this country.
Yeah, because actually, myself and yourself, we do a bit of managing, and there's this new thing, and I don't know if a lot of people are familiar. I actually only became familiar when I went up with yourselves, give you a hand, the retreat line. I never knew this was a thing. So back in my day, kick the ball, go and leg after.
Long ball.
Now it's you have a retreat line, which you can only have one striker in that area.
Yeah, so under 10s and under 11s, you can only have one attacking player within 20 meters of the goal, you're forced to play out from the back.
Yeah.
So from a young age, you get comfortable even from a defensive position, comfortable receiving the ball under pressure. So if you think about that, from 8 years of age, you're being taught that, from 5 aside, 7 aside, then 9 aside, and then you don't hit 11 aside until you get to 15. And that's simply because the lower number of players on the pitch means you'll get more touches of the ball under pressure. And from a technical standpoint, that will do great things, I think, for this country.
And another one as well is the goalkeepers. They're not allowed to kick it out of hands. They have to drop the ball, and it has to bounce before they hit it. Fair enough, they can drop it and bounce it and kick it, but they have to pretty much play it out the back as well. So I think, look, you are right. In fairness, there probably will be a lot more gifted footballers coming through rather than.
And look, we have a lot of immigration into the country now, and like it happened in England, like it happened in America, over the long term, when the gene pool widens, you will get a lot more talent and variation in abilities and performances from different cultures as well. And we will. And
do you know what's great? We're getting a lot more Brazilians over here, so if a lot more Brazilians could. Do you know what I mean?
The Irish Pele.
It'd be fucking great. That's what we need. Yeah. We need more Brazilians, so we're welcoming all Brazilians. Anyway, anyone that's Brazilian, come over and live in Ireland and fucking have your kids or something. Right, Paddy, that's it on the unpopular opinions. Some really good ones. Thanks to everybody that has sent them in. Of course, we do really appreciate it. Make sure you hit subscribe as well, because you can send us in every single week. You can send them in, and we will talk about them no matter what. So, we appreciate it.
Unless we get super popular and people send in like 500 a week.
That would not. Right, Paddy, the last thing we're going to be jumping on is to the football predictions. Right, we'll get through these. We're an hour into it at the moment. So, Paddy, I've noticed that the podcasts are getting a little bit longer as well, which is good. It's good content. People are enjoying it. So, Aston Villa versus Liverpool. That's on tomorrow night, I believe. What do you think?
Should be a good game.
Yeah.
I do see Liverpool dropping points. So, I'm going to say a draw here. I'm going to say 2-2. I'm going to say Rashford to score first.
Okay. I don't know what it is with Liverpool. I just fucking...
They're a machine, aren't they?
I can't see them fucking losing. Like, even when they go down, they come back, and Salah always pulling them out.
I know.
I'm gonna go 2-1. I'm gonna say Aston Villa to score first, and then Liverpool to score, and I'm gonna go with Diaz to score because he's been playing pretty well lately. Next one up, Everton versus Manchester United.
Everton leapfrogged Manchester United over the weekend in the 14th spot. 5 games, 5 positive results for David Moyes. Doing a good job. Look, the best I can hope for here is a draw. And that's again being hopeful. So I'm going to go for a draw here. I'm going to go for 1-1 and Hoyland to go back into the score sheet.
Do you think Everton are going to beat us?
Possibly. I wouldn't argue against it. But I'm being positive.
Yeah, positive, Paddy. We're going to call you big positive, Paddy. I'm going to say Everton are going to beat us 2-0. I actually think you're going to fire blanks. The only way I see it scoring is if you get a Bruno Fernandes penalty. That's the only way I see it's going. So I'm going to say Everton to win. Next one up, Arsenal versus West Ham. Paddy, I see this being a bit of a formality for West Ham, or for Arsenal. I know Arsenal are struggling with injuries and stuff like that, but to be fair, they got a result. I'm going to go 3-1, and I'm going to say Odegaard's going to score.
Yeah, I was thinking 3 in my head. I'm going to go 3-0, and I'm going to go Martinelli.
Yeah, okay. Next one, Aston Villa versus Chelsea. 2 tough games for Chelsea or for Aston Villa coming up. I don't know. Yeah. I'm hoping that Villa are going to be tired from the Liverpool match, and maybe Ollie Watkins tweaks a hamstring or something like that. Paddy, I'd love to say Chelsea are going to get a result here, but don't say it. Maybe. Do you know what? 2-2. No. 1-1 draw.
Right. Okay.
I think I'm going to go 1-1 draw. I'm going to say Neto to score for Chelsea.
I think Aston Villa have made some wonderful signings for their club. I think they're going to really kick on for the second half of the season, have a really strong second half of the season. And I think they'll win this 2-0. Sorry. And Rashford to score again. I think Rashford's going to be blitz teams, I swear to God.
Right, Paddy, last one up. Game of the week. Man City versus Liverpool. How do you see this one go?
Man City against the bigger sides keep just slipping up. But I just want Liverpool to slip up so bad. I know. So I'm going to go.
We need Steven Gerrard back.
I'm going to go for a Man City win. We need for the slip up. Yeah, very good. I'm going to go for Man City 1-0 and Haaland score.
I think this would, if City could win this, it would just make the league so much better. And just
you want it down to 4 points.
Yeah, just a little tweak it up a bit. Like just get the Liverpool fans off their high horse a little bit. Yeah. Do I see it happening now? I actually just see Liverpool beating Man City, to be honest, and I see them winning 2-1.
Villa and City.
Yeah, I want to doubt them.
You don't think they'll drop any points?
I don't think so.
Against Villa and City.
I honestly think they're not going to drop a lot of points, right? But they'll drop points against someone like a Fulham or someone that you don't expect them, and it'll be a draw because they went down to 10 men or something. Yeah. That's how I see them dropping points. Other than that, I just see them being too solid. So I'm going to say 2-1 to Liverpool, and I'm going to go with... I'm going to go Salah to score because I think just for the big games, he scores goals. So, Paddy, that is it. That is it. We are wrapped up. We are done. We are dusted. We have, again, we're embracing this new era of Beyond the Ball, and we're enjoying it. Yeah.
We're not live. In person.
Live.
In person.
Live.
We actually stopped doing live.
Yeah. Well, just as well, because we fucked up about 10 times.
Although, with the live piece, what's our plans?
So we are planning to get ourselves live on TikTok.
Pair of ticks.
We don't know what way we're going to do it because we can both now go live. So I don't know, do we do it on one screen, and how does that work?
Attach it to this. Attach
to
this. You have yours.
Let me see it up my nose now.
And do a live call to us.
That'd be deadly, wouldn't it?
Let's stop planning.
Right, sorry, that'll happen in the background. You don't need to worry about that, but we will let you know when that happens. And you can know by following all of our social medias and hitting subscribe and going to Instagram and following us there and going to all the other fucking deadly social media.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. That's what we asked. We do appreciate everybody that did take the time out just to click a couple of buttons. That made a massive difference to us. We do see everything. I don't see who subscribes, but I see the number going up. So we appreciate the subscriptions. Keep doing it. Tell your friends. Get us to 500. That is what we were trying to do. I might do a giveaway when we get to 500. I'm thinking about it. Maybe
1,000.
€1,000.
No, do it for 1,000.
Oh, gee, I thought you were telling me to give away €1,000
subscribers.
Right. Well, look, we'll see. We'll see. You know, if it gets to 500, we might surprise you. So thanks everybody for listening. Paddy,
thank you.
Thanks for helping me through this episode. You know, I think we're helping.
It's like a counseling session, wasn't it? Yeah.
I mean, we got some
enjoyable.
It is enjoyable. Yeah. It's not enjoyable being Chelsea and United fan, but it's enjoyable.
This makes football enjoyable, even when it's bad.
Yeah. Okay. Are we part of sexy football?
No, we're not analytical. We don't know enough about football to be analytical. We're old school.
Right, that's it. We will be back at the same time next week, 7 a.m. on Wednesday morning. We appreciate you. Thank you. And we'll see you again next week. Goodbye.